Alright, hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jay, and pretty much this channel is going to be consisted of me just showing a couple of the trades that I do throughout the days on the week, and just to kind of prove to people or demonstrate that it is possible for you to create a small account and grow it out throughout the time. So I'll try my best to keep the videos under 10 minutes as time is precious and I wouldn't like to waste yours. So really simple just to start off. We did start this account with $1,000, assuming that at least you should be able to save up $1,000. You can also start with 500 uh, and continue from there. But pretty much I have a little bit upgraded as you can see to 5 grand, and that all pretty much happened between the last month. So we started off with $1,000 on June 21st, and then I did a couple of trades myself. As you can see, from 110. I did start with a margin account instead of a cash account, as I would love to get the profits right away so that I can reinvest it into place. Now, it is definitely not recommended for you to use the entire account value in just one play, as I've learned my mistakes throughout time. It can be very dangerous, but also very rewarding. So it's a risk reward kind of situation right there, and hence why like once if you do that, but again, do not recommend. But if you tend to do that, do be cautious with it. Set your stop losses kind of like really tight to make sure that you can at least don't lose your entire and account value. So pretty much the first trade that we did throughout the time, it was just like 100 bucks into it, and then we just continue. I actually did lose a couple more money on those trades after it, and then there was one overnight play, which I will get into it later, that it kind of exploded into 2 grand, which we doubled our money, and then throughout time, I also did a couple more plays that actually led into 7,000, and then when I got towards this value, I did make one play worth 4 grand that actually led into a loss that led to 4,300, and that's when I decided that it was better situation for me to actually switch to a cash account to make sure that I can manage the risk for it and actually grow little by little, but continuously keeping pretty much constant into it. So from this moment right here, which was July 11th, I set up a goal on the day, and now I'm going to try my best to stick to it. And the goal pretty much it is for me to do $500 on the daily, which is already amazing. Uh, Even if I do just 2 trades on those 500 bucks, uh, perfect. If I make 6 trades and make those 500 bucks, also fine. But that's my goal. If I get more than that, wonderful. But that's pretty much my minimum goal to get on the daily. And also, when it comes to losses, I'm going to try my best to keep it towards $200. So if I do see that there's one day that I'm already losing $200 into it, I might just close shop right there and just leave it for the next day. I won't get my feelings get involved into it, as in the stock market, you cannot let your feelings be part of it because it can get really stressful and everything, and then you might just make one play that, due to your feelings being a little bit too elevated, it might actually just make you lose even more money into it. Um, so now just getting like towards today's trade. Um, Today trade we did do 600 bucks, which was pretty much included into one overnight play and two plays I believe itself that happened into it. So the overnight play itself, let me see if I can get it, pull it up over here. It was towards the BTO $21 and a call. So pretty much what happened was I'll get to this a little bit later, but there's a Discord channel itself that I joined itself a couple of years ago, and I find it like really helpful. I joined it on my senior year of high school, and it was when Spud, which is the main person from the channel itself, he was trading mostly penny stocks, and that's how I got into my investments in the beginning. I stick to this channel for the past 4 or 5 years. It helped me quite a lot. It was where I pretty much learned most of it, and from there, they just grew into an insane community of traders, including small investors to large cap investors. Um, So pretty much like there was a swing trade that Mr. Archer right here did it overnight, which was alerted. Let me see if I can find it. Which was right here. So he did add the beetle calls for the expiration on the 19th of July with 21 calls for a swing at 0.24. However, I did get into the trade myself at 0.26. There you go. So here's the order for it. Um, on that trade itself, which was on Friday, what happened was, if we pull it up, beetle right here, we can see that during this weekend, um, due to the situations of of President Trump and everything like that, the situation that it happened, as soon as that happened, it elevated Bitcoin itself. And Beto, it is a Bitcoin strategy from the government itself. So it is there we go. So it's ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF. So this goes accordingly into the Bitcoin itself. So as soon as Bitcoin elevated, we managed to get already a decent profit. Now, why did Mr. Archer get into this call? Um, I'm not 100% sure. He probably saw something way more than I did. He probably saw already some volume growing in into Bitcoin we that he was expecting, and he is expecting actually still by August to kind of have like a little like explosive movement when it comes to it. So he added those ones. It was already some good decent amount of of beetle calls volume into it, which we also have it over here into the Discord channel, which is on the Trady Flows. So this Discord channel, they did implement Trady Ticks, which Trady Ticks it is a platform, if I'm correct, that you can get plenty of information when it comes to options contracts and over other information in the market. And you do charge, usually they do charge like a hefty like membership for it, but SpudZone they actually managed to get like a little deal with them and make it included into the Discord channel, which would this Discord channel I believe right now the current price it is $20 a month, which I think is totally worth it for the amount of rewards that you can get from it. Now, just as a reminder, of course, that none of this that I'm saying, it is a financial device. It's mostly my experience when it comes to the market and also the thing with the Discord channel. By meaning, definitely all the alerts that these people send and everything into it, it's their place itself, but it's also no financial advice. You should definitely do your due diligence when it comes to these plays, and that's exactly what I do, and I'll explain a little bit more into other videos. So now getting to the play. So this one was the overnight play from Friday into Monday. Um, Bitcoin, of course, it had like a massive move of a couple thousand. I think he switched $5,000 over the weekend. And from that, of course, we can see that when I got into the trade itself, it was at good 2020, so to say. And then over the weekend, exploded all the way till 22, which made my options contract being in the money. From that, I did sell most of it at the open. So we did sell it for a decent amount of profit. Let me see if I can pull it up right here. All right. So here it is, the couple of things itself. I use mostly Robinhood as options trading into it. I find it a little bit easier. I don't like much of their stop loss when it comes to it, but I'm still kind of getting used to it. And hopefully, as soon as I grow the account even further, I can actually switch to a different brokerage itself. But so far, I definitely do recommend Robinhood as a starting point, and also for graphic analysis, either TradingView, which they do have a free platform for it, or also Webull. Webull, I do use it quite often, been using it for the past 4 years, so I'm kind of getting used to it at this point. So for the Beetle ones, it was an overnight, which of course we got filled it up on the 21 call with $26 per contract, those 0.26. And then I did sell it all 5 minutes after the market opened for 113 each contract. So it was a good profit of about 300% if I remember correctly, which was an insane deal, which already brought my daily goal to about 300 bucks. Voila. So I sell most of it right near at this point. So sorry, $470 it was from it. Now from this point, a little bit happened after it. There was another play alerted by the Discord channel, which let me see if I can find it. All right, so from what I can see, I didn't properly. It wasn't actually an alert. It was just kind of like of a little message saying that someone got into the position, which was on Apple calls. On those Apple ones, on the movement itself, I did actually like it. Let me see if I can get a little bit of the time frame so I can actually show it to you. So at 9:39, my order to buy the 230 for put. So of course betting that the stock would go down. Well, I got an average price of $98 per contract. Uh, there was also a little bit of a situation where I was trying to sell it for profit, but of course it wasn't filling it, so I had to exchange it. But then I did manage to sell four contracts at 120, so there was a little bit of profit itself, a good 20%, which is mostly where I settled for. Um, and then also the other ones kind of had a little like break even when it came to it. Or actually, it did go a little bit up, and then I decided to just close it out. The break even that I had, it was actually on SPY, which I'll get into it later also, which was my last play of the day itself. So, um, all right, so showing the Apple chart right here. So this is pretty much the time frame that I got from these notifications for the transaction. So which we started the trade at 39 and we ended the trade at 53. So now just showing pretty much what happened into it. So they alerted around right here. I would say that they had gotten into the Apple puts into it. So then I went to double check and here's what I saw from it and hence why I decided to get also into the play. So we did see the strong movement going into down play for it. And then as soon as it crossed this line, so the way I saw that it was like a decent amount of strength. And also the MACD, it had also crossed lines into it, which it was representing a good selling period. And that's when I decided to pretty much join the trade. So as soon as I joined it, of course, we did see a good pullback, but then um, eventually it continued showing straight to strength towards the selling side, and that's when I let it just play out for a little bit. So I did had two selling points. One of them I did take some profits around right here, and then the other one, I did take another couple profits closer towards the end, which was actually on this green candle when it was returning back, which was on my selling, kind of like stop loss into it that I had settled a little bit less just in case if the price was going to fall back, and indeed it did. From that, it was that play from Apple. And then on the third and last play of the day itself, it was for SPY. Now, SPY, it is one of my favorites together with QQQ. It's one of the best ones in most, if anything, traded ETFs that people get into, especially for day traders and when it comes to options contract. Um, so for this one, there was actually an alert into the channel. Let me see if I can actually find. No, actually, there was not. So this one was actually due to my own research into it. So, explaining into it. I let the market play a little bit just to see kind of like the movement for it. Luckily enough, we do have an options head person in the group, which is Harmony. Harmony did send the pivots and levels for SPY. On his own words, has been holding much stronger than QQQ due to rotational move out of Mag 5. Mag 7, which is the Magnificent Sevens, the seven major stocks that the Nasdaq is going on. But this can quickly change if they rotate back into tech again. So he did send the upside levels into it and the downside, which I can use. I use it most of the times as these green lines, so to say. Let me see if I can undo this just so I can show it properly. So it is these levels. So usually I set them up, especially when he sent it into it. It is a great help of him, and I put green ones for the upside and red ones for the downside levels. So on these plays, I let the market just play it out for a little bit, and then I was noticing that it was actually making a good linear resistance levels, and from that, I also, as soon as he kind of got stuck into it, I decided to also graph a little line when it came to it, because it was actually stalling a little bit right here. So from that, I just used it, and as soon as he crossed the line itself, which was the resistance point from it, and also it crossed the MACD. So right here, like we had a good decent amount of strength towards the buying side, and also had crossed my resistance line. I actually decided to get into the trade, which was exactly when this happened. Now, from that, it did hit the upside pivot level, but it did reject it a little bit. And from that, since this was my trade and this was also another resistance level right here, as you can see on this part, they're like it is maintaining it. I decided to use this as my stop loss. Um, so I did have a little pullback into it. It did break that resistance level, but I decided to hold it as this one was the lower wick when it came to this candle that hit the resistance level. And from that, I just let it a little bit out, and then it actually went and took off. It finally broke the high of the day, and I sold it into about, I would say right here, I sold it mostly for 30% if I remember gains, as I'm not trying to get too greedy with it, even though as much as it ran right there, I took most of the profits right here and I set up a stop loss for just $1 per contract, which is pretty much $100 because it is the contract times 100 as you control 100 shares, which it actually got hit right here, my stop loss. So the stop loss, it didn't actually go for break even. It was still a little bit of profit since my entry point, I believe it was at 90 something cents. So from that, it hit the stop loss, no more runners into it, and that was the end of my trade. Now, the the group itself, they did, Mr. Archer right here, he did emphasize towards a good GME play that it did call my attention, which it was right here. So GME flow is crazy bullish right now, taking flyer GME on the 26th of July for 30 calls at 174. I believe I did get a little bit of a heavier entry into it. Yeah, as I got a 176, but I only got also two contracts as I'm not trying to swing major positions anymore. Um, so from that, he did say, and it did call my attention into it. And after that, I kind of went to look towards the GME chart, and I also pay attention a little bit towards the Wall Street bets. And from, of course, what the DGens have been saying, it is that it looks extremely bullish from it. And honestly, for the past few days, I can see that it is growing like slowly, little by little, but it is arriving there. And Archer actually also did emphasizes his thesis with a little bit of the live flow from the ticker itself, with saying that most of them it is on a bullish pattern and also the call sweep from it. Um, so after that, it did really call my attention, but it was of course at 3:59, which the market was about to close. So I did decide as soon as I checked that the pattern has been bullish for the past like couple of days. I decided to join into the trade and just swing a small position for it. Now, this video, it is of course, if anything, a little bit longer than 10 minutes, but it's just because it's the introductory video and I'm trying to explain the best that I can on how I'm doing everything. Now, as you can see, so that's what it led all on my place, so being a 607. Now, I do have this AZTR, which was a past play from the Discord channel. As you can see, it is not doing too well. I'm just holding it just because at this point, it is a decent size from it. I believe the initial size it was about $800, and of course, it's still down 18%. But just to demonstrate that not every single play on that chat is going to create wonders or make wonders or give you a profit, and hence why you do need to do your own due diligence when it comes to trading. So those are just pretty much like the one. This one was just the bonus stock that we had into the account as soon as we open into it, and this is just the only position that I'm holding right now, which it is the GME stock. And as you can see, it's only up just 5% into it, and it is a overnight swing, if anything, for the next couple of days to see how the GME ticker moves. So that is it when it comes to my plays right now. And just a reminder for you guys that I will be leaving a link in the description when it comes to just a referral links for Robinhood, Webull, and also the most important one for the SpudZone. I definitely recommend for you guys to actually join into it. even after you join, you can just look for first for the testimonials that people have been giving. They do have some decent amount of plays that actually work out like amazing. Um, but of course, just go through it yourself and decide if you want to join the SpudZone community or not. I definitely do recommend, as these people are actually pretty good investors. I learned a lot throughout the couple of years, and just going to continue updating you guys, hopefully on a daily of my positions, and hopefully we can actually grow this account over the past a good $100,000. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Do enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you.